Hello crafters, welcome to D's Creations and today's video. Today we're going to be embossing this slate heart-shaped hanging home decor piece. So this is a pound store craft because this actually came from the pound store. So this is the slate. It's nice and thick in a really natural state, and we're going to emboss it. So I'm going to use the a stamp set which is available from my store, G's Embellishment Emporium. I really want that tree to be in the centre. Let me just cut off the label. I really want the tree to be the focal point. I'm going to be using some Nouveau embossing powder which I got from maymomadeit.com, and I'm using the glitter embossing, and this is the gold enchantment. The embossing pad I'm using is from Top Boss, and I'm just going to dust over the surface of this with my anti-stack sponge. It's an anti-static sponge. I'll give you the name once I put it back. It is called the Happy Bugs Static Free. I'm just blowing off the excess. Right, let me get myself a stamp block. Okay, I'm going to use the big tree and the Top Boss embossing pad. I'm going to make sure I give this a good cover. It needs to be covered very well. And I am going to put that in the centre. I'm using a slight rock technique because obviously the slate has imperfections. It's not a smooth surface because obviously it's natural slate. So that didn't turn out too bad. There are a few bits where I've missed a bit, but I'm not going to worry about those. I'm going to have the swing on there also, because this stamp set comes with a little swing, and it has a little girl that can sit on the swing as well. So I'm probably going to have the little girl sit there too. So again, I'm going to wipe off just parts of the top because the actual swing, the length part of the strings of the swing is a bit too long. So I don't want it to be so far down. Okay, there's that. And I'm going to use the little girl. So again, stamping her in the embossing pad and sitting her on the swing. And she's a bit too far up, but never mind. What else do I have on here? I've got some birds, a bike. Let's put some of this grass and flower, as spring is just around the corner. Don't be afraid to come on and off the slate. That just makes the pattern a bit more natural. And we've got some birds flying around, so let's put some birds flying around in the air. Okay, let's put all this to one side. Grab a piece of A4 paper or some scrap paper. If I can get it off, there we go. Right, and now it comes down to the dusting the embossing powder over the piece. Now, because this is slate, it takes longer. It takes a lot longer to for the embossing powder to set. So when you put in the heat over the top, it does take quite a while. So you will need to sporadically have gaps in between, because obviously you don't want to crack the slate. I didn't have any problems with the first one I did, and I will show you that one at the end. So there we go, it's all covered. So I'm going to save this excess and pour it back into the container. Right, I'm going to warm up my heat gun and then I'm going to start heat embossing, but I will fast forward this bit and have it so it's quiet. So like I said, I will have this on fast forward, but I will be stopping intermittently to let the slate cool down a bit. So here goes. Okay, crafters, here we go. Here's the end result. Please let the slate cool before you move it, because the slate retains heat and this gets very, very, very hot. So please leave it to cool for at least 45 minutes. You don't want to burn yourselves. So this is the one I did using the stamp set from my store. That's the builder scene, tree scene. And then I have, I used these two stamp sets from Member Made It for this one here. And this is called Snowed Out and Snow Peaking. And I use that on this one here. So you could really, I mean, if you've got big, bold sentiment stamps, or if you've got alphabet stamps, you could make some really personalized individual gifts using this technique. And you could do that for Valentine's, Christmas, Thanksgiving. You could really do some great gifts really cheaply for any time of the year. So like I said, these slates were from the pound store and the other items were in my stash, so it's very, very cheap to put together indeed. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you very soon with another video. Take care now. Bye bye.